Okay, this is the next part of the tutorial for the Lynx banner. It will walk you through steps 8 through 19 of the project, where you have to learn to trace letters and move them then to the banner. And so I'm just showing you where this is at. I'm probably not going to come back and look at these directions. We'll just kind of breeze right through them. So from your Photoshop program, you're going to go to the File menu and you're going to open up one of those pictures that you saved, whether it was, it doesn't matter the order that you do them in. You can do the picture of the Lynx, you can do the picture of the high school, whichever one of those four you would like. I'm going to take my picture of the Lynx. You certainly can pick whatever picture you want and open that picture up. Now, if your picture isn't the right size, remember to come down here to zoom and then zoom in and out till you get the picture the size that you want. The picture will open up in its own separate tab. You still have your Lynx banner over here. Now, what we want to do is we want to trace around our picture in the shape of, we're going to start with the letter L. And to do that, you're going to use the polygonal lasso tool. So in your tools over here on the left, you're going to come down 3. That's the polygonal lasso tool. You might have to right click on it to find it. If yours shows just this lasso, you need to right click and choose the polygonal lasso. Now remember, when you do this, if your strings kind of starts to get all over, or your selection starts to get all over the place, you stop, double click, and then do Command D, and that will delete the selection and let you start over. Now the idea of making the letter L over the top of the picture is to try to include in the letter L the lynx, so we can see that this is a lynx. I don't want to just make an L over the fur of the lynx. I really want to try to capture some of the face of the lynx as I do this. And I kind of like these little tufts up here and stuff like that. And so it might take me more than one try, but I'm gonna see what I can do. So I'm gonna start up here in this corner, and I'm gonna click, and I'm just gonna start to draw. And it's kind of like a piece of string that comes down. And my L, I don't have to have it be straight. I can have it be straight, or I can kind of create a little bit of an angle to that. I'm going to come across the bottom of the mouth of the lynx. And again, I don't have to have this be straight, okay? So you create your interest however you want. And then I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to create a fairly large looking bottom part of my L, and I'm going to cut it off about right here. And then I have to go back to where I started. And then I click on that spot, and that should give me these blinking lines that give me the shape of a letter L. Now, if they go away, yes, you have to do it again, okay? Once you get that done, you're ready to move on. But again, I'm going to go back. If you make a huge mistake and you're tracing those lines get out of control, you stop and double click. Command D will take it all off. If you can't get that to work, you can actually close the file, don't save it, open it up, and none of those lines will be on there. So let's say everything you got is what, you got it on your first try. So then I'm going to copy the selection that is outlined by my tracing. I'm just going to do Command C. I think the shortcut will work really well for this. I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to click on this tab where my Lynx banner is. Now I want that L to go on this page. So I'm going to do Command V, and it's going to show up. Okay? When it shows up, I now will look over here on the right-hand side where my layers panel is, and there you'll see the shape of my L, and it'll say layer 1, and it's selected, and you want it selected. If for some reason your background is selected, you need to click on layer 1. Once you click on layer 1, you come up to the edit menu, and you're going to do free transform. When you get free transform, you now have handles on your object. So you can go ahead and make your L bigger or smaller, or you can move it around on the document to get it to fit where you want it. Now we're going to spell out the word Lynx, so obviously you're going to want to move this over to the left-hand side. Now you can see what I did there. I got most of the majority of the picture in the shape of my L, so I can tell that it is a lynx. I wouldn't want to put the L just over the ear. So if you want to start over and you don't want this there, you just come over here and delete the layer, okay? And then go back to the picture up here and start over. And then you can continue to just work that until you get it the way you want. So I'm satisfied with the way mine looks. So again, make it with a two-headed arrow, make it as big or small, move it at where you want to. The other thing you can do is if you come outside of a white handle, outside, I'm not clicking, I'm just, there it is, I get that kind of rounded looking two-headed arrow, then I can rotate my letter at any angle that I want. And I can come back later and I can change it later if I want. And when I get it to the place where I want it, then what I do is I either click this check mark up here, or on my keyboard I hit return, or better known as the enter key. And that sets my object onto my paper. Okay? Anytime I want to do something with it, like maybe I don't want to make it rotation. Maybe I want to rotate it a little bit the other way. Maybe I need to make it a little bit bigger or smaller. I have to make sure my layer 1 is selected because that represents my letter L. Then I go up to the edit menu and I do free transform. Once I get to free transform, the handles come back on. And now I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, or if I want to rotate it a different way, I can rotate it and move it any place that I want on my document. And once I get it set where I want it, I either hit return or the enter key, or I click the check mark up here in the corner to place it. I'm going to do Command S. If you ever get the compatibility question up, you're just going to always click OK. In fact, if you want to mark the don't show again, you certainly can do that. Okay? Now, once you have that done, if you come back to the directions, okay, you need to do step number 18, which is to repeat what we just did for the remaining 3 pictures. So like you have a picture of you. Maybe that's what you're going to cut the Y out. You're going to open that up and you're going to trace a Y. And then you just continue to follow these steps until you've used all 4 pictures and you've spelled out Lynx, L-Y-N-X. And they'll all fit on here. When you're done, you'll have like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. And if you need to work with the letter Y, then you click on that layer and go to Edit Free Transform, and that will put the handles on it so you can move it, size it, and rotate it. So when you're all done, you'll have an L, a Y, an N, and an X, all spelled out, a different picture in each one of those letters. Okay? And then don't forget to save the background. And then this picture up here of the Lynx, you can click on that, and I'm going to click on that X. That's going to close this file up. Typically, it doesn't ask you to save it. If it ever does, you can say no. So if I click that, there, that's gone. Okay? Command S, I save that. Then I do File Open, get up my next picture, cut it out with the Y, copy, paste it, size it, rotate it. Again, you'll have 2 layers, 3 and 4. Okay, so that should take you through the next part of the project.